Okay, this video is for the centers, talking about New Prague's defense. In their scrimmage, they showed a 4-4 defense um, for both of their scrimmages. They did show an odd front and a 4-4 last year, so I'm just showing the 4-4 here just because we've seen a lot of 3-4 with our own defense the past couple weeks. So I think we're pretty well familiar with an odd front. We will rep it during practice this week, but I just wanted to drop this 4-4 because they showed this during the scrimmage, and I want to make sure we're good with it. So I'm just going to go through all of our plays and talking about the center's blocks for each. So first I'll talk about trap right. So if we're running trap right, we kick out the first guy on or outside the guard. That'd be the 3 technique here. Okay, so we would call out his number. We're responsible for our backside gap. So you got a guy in your gap, that 1 technique. So you're blocking back on the 1, keeping your leverage, trying to drive him out to create this, make this hole bigger, um, if we can, and just making sure you don't lose leverage on that nose. Okay, and then he's going here, he's blocking him. Okay. Now, trap to the left. There's not a guy in your gap. And this is where, like I said, this is a big point of emphasis. If we had a backside 3 technique or 2 technique, you and the backside tackle need to be communicating about who is blocking that guy. Like I said, if it's a 3 technique, I want the tackle to block him. Okay. If it's a backside 3, I want the tackle to block him either by wheeling and sealing or deliing him, cutting him. If he can't get that job done, then he can make a cat call where you will go back and block the 3, and then he will help, but then he'd go back and block the 5. Okay. I don't like that, especially with trap, because that means the guard has this guy by himself, and we have nobody to go to the backside linebacker. We have no one to block him on trap. Okay. So that's why I want the tackle to be able to take care of this 3 technique on your own. That way we can cage this nose to the backside linebacker. Remember, the linebacker dictates who comes off. So if he shows up in your gap, then you got to block him. If he flows over the top, then the guard comes off. But in this, on this cage block, the on trap, we're trying to throw the nose guard over into your gap. Okay. So that'd be trap left. You'd have a cage on this one. Um, Next play, dart. We talked about dart to the left. So we're running dart left here. Ball is going right there. So your rule is backside on play side. There's no one in your backside gap, no one on you. So you are once again caging with the guard to the backside backer. Same thing, linebacker dictates who comes off. Okay. Trying to throw this guy over into your gap. Okay, because we're running the ball here. Backside guard blocks, and then the tackle pulls on dart. Okay. Next play, let's talk about power to the right. So we're running power right. You're responsible for your backside gap on power. Your rule is gap on. There's a guy in your gap. You block back. Okay. Because the guard is pulling. Okay. They have a tag on the front side, and they're going to the first backer inside. Yeah. So you just got your backside gap. If we run counter left, okay, counter left, you're responsible for your backside gap. You and the tackle need to communicate, okay. If it's a 3, he should take care of him unless he makes a cat call. Then you block the 3 on a cat call. He will help, and then he will block the 5. Okay. But if we run counter left, I want a cage to the front side. I want double teams. Throw this guy over into your gap. Linebacker dictates who comes off. Okay. That's counter. Next play, kick to the right. You're responsible for your backside gap. The guard is not pulling this time, so now you are the one that's trying to push him over into the guard's gap. Okay. So just run and kick to the right. Hold on, let me draw the picture here. Okay. Run and kick to the right here, block down. We got a tag to that backer, and then we have this cage where you are now trying to knock the nose over into the guard's gap, and you guys are working to that backer. The backer dictates who comes off. We're assuming the linebacker is going to flow, so it's going to be you. So the guard really needs to work to take this guy over. You need to work to shove that guy over into his gap as you work up to that linebacker. Okay, that's kick to the right. Should be a good play. Next play, truck. Okay. He blocks down. Oh my gosh. He pulls around. The guard reaches. Center, you are gap on to cutoff. There's no one in your gap. There's no one directly on you. So you are doing that. Okay. You're trying to cut off that linebacker. If that linebacker flows hard, then you turn back for the next linebacker. Okay. And the backside guard rips to cut off. Backside tackle, same thing. Rips to cut off. Okay. So you are gap on. Now let's talk about toss. This is a tough duty for you here. Okay. So we're on toss left. We're reaching, reaching, reaching. And now your rule is gap on. You got a guy in your gap. This nose is a tough block. This is where you can try to reach him. But if this guy's really tough to reach, then you can cut him. Deli deli. You can dive at his legs, cut him down low. You cut him a couple times, then it should be easier to reach him. Okay. Um, Pass protection. You're going to slide to the one, wherever the one is. So here would be Larry. Okay, you and the guard are doubling to that linebacker right there. Okay, you two are responsible for these two. So if this linebacker showed here, the guard would come off and block him. If they ran some sort of game where the nose slanted out and the linebacker showed up in your gap, then you got to pass the nose off and block the linebacker. Okay, if this linebacker stepped up, you got to change it to Ricky. So you'd block there, he'd block there, he'd block there. Guard would block there. Okay. And blocks there. All right. We take care of the interior six. Okay. These linebackers, these outside backers, they're pass heavy. They don't blitz. Now they showed one thing on the goal line during scrimmage where he bumped down to a three and this linebacker went to a five. So they had a five, a three, and a one. You're already sliding that direction. Okay. So you'd be there. Now, let's say they did something like this, okay, where they had two ones, they had a three, so they reduced down on this other side here. Let's say they did something like this, okay. Um, you can uh, so here really we would want a Ricky call would be better because um we would have everyone covered where you would go there, there, there. There. It's kind of like the same thing. A linebacker stepped up in the middle. Um, or if you don't see it, you still keep that Larry um, because you got a double one. Oops. Then they can make an off call. Tackles can still make an off call, and we would still be fine. Okay. Um, but if you see it, if you see this 1-3 and this linebacker walks down, you can make a Ricky call and change it. But or the tackle can make an off call if you don't. So I have not seen that, but I'm just getting ready for it just in case. Remember, if they're in two twos, I'll go back and talk about two twos in a sec here. Let's talk about screen. If we ran a screen left, okay, you would pass protect here, 1,000, 1,000, go, and then you and this guard go by this nose, and you two are blocking that backer. The backside guard is blocking that backer if it's a screen left. Okay. If it's a screen right, same thing. We block 1,000, 1,000, go, and then you go block the right backer. He blocks the right backer, and then this guard blocks the left inside backer on a screen. Okay. Now let's talk about two twos because it changes your blocks for two twos. And really it comes down to communication again with the backside tackle on who's doing what. Okay. But if there are two twos, or if there is a two on the backside, so let's say we're running trap to the right, okay? He's rip releasing, he's pulling. If there is a head up two, that is your responsibility to block back. Okay, I want you to block back on a two. Okay, and that's where you'd say, I got him, or down, down, down. You're telling the tackle that you're blocking down that you got him. I don't care if you point at this guy and say, hey, I got him. So this tackle can step and help for a little bit, but he knows he's going back to that five technique. So we could make a cat call here if we got two twos. Even if it was a backside two and a one, okay, because the guard's still going to block down on that one, the play side guard is, and then you would just block back on that two. If you think that guy's a two technique, you can make a cat call or a down call, okay? But if he's a two or a one, he's your guy because that's too far for this tackle to get there, okay? If he's outside shoulder of that guard, okay, you guys got to communicate where you say you got him, tackle says I got him, okay. But when in doubt, we can make that cat call, especially if you don't have a one technique to your side. If it's two twos, you can make that cat call or a down call, because you know that that two technique is going to be taken care of. Okay, so that could be power if we're running power to the right here. Okay, that could be if we're running counter to the right. Okay, if you have two twos, um, and that could be trapped to the left. Okay, same thing. If you got a backside two, that's your guy. You're supposed to block a backside two and communicate with that backside tackle. So we get that backside taken care of. Okay. And then pass protection with two twos, you make a Larry call. You two are responsible for that guy and that backer. Okay. So I think that's pretty much everything.